Welcome back to CIA Declassified. The year is 2007. The world is transfixed by the launch of the first iPhone and the meteoric rise of social media. We are migrating our entire lives, our secrets, our locations, our very thoughts onto the servers of private corporations. But in the shadow of the war on terror, the National Security Agency and the CIA realized they no longer needed to wiretap a house if they could simply wiretap the cloud. This was the inception of PRISM. It wasn't just a program, it was a fundamental shift in the architecture of the internet. It was a tool that granted the government direct access to the systems of the world's largest technology companies. The glass eye was opened, and for the first time in history, the state didn't just have an ear to the wall, it had a direct feed into the collective subconscious of the digital age. Why the designation PRISM? Technically, it is a signals intelligence collection program, but the name is descriptive of its function. In optics, a prism is a transparent element that refracts light, separating it into constituent spectral colors. Records and leaked internal slides indicate that the program was named because it acted as a refractor for the massive, blinding beam of global internet traffic. By passing this light of raw data through the PRISM filter, the agency could separate the specific colors it wanted, be it an email from Tehran, a chat log from Beijing, or a search query from London. It took a chaotic stream of information and split it into identifiable, actionable intelligence. The reality of PRISM is documented in thousands of pages of top secret slides. Let's look at the data points of the digital dragnet. PRISM is the designation for the US 984XN collection system. A quote from a declassified NSA training manual. You don't have to go to the companies, you go to their servers. We have a direct relationship. End quote. The program began under the Protect America Act of 2007. Records show that Microsoft was the first partner to join the program in September 2007. A quote from a declassified internal progress report. The growth of the program is exponential because the data is already organized for us. End quote. The agency gained access to stored communications, including email, video, and voice chat, photos, and, of course, file transfers. Documentation proves the FBI acted as the intermediary using data intercept technology to pull info from corporate servers. Collection directly from the servers of these U.S. service providers, Microsoft, Yahoo, Google, Facebook, Paltalk, AOL, Skype, YouTube, Apple, appears on slide 4 of the declassified PRISM deck. Records confirm that the program cost approximately $20 million per year to maintain. The agency utilized tasking terms, keywords, or selectors to trigger the automated collection of specific users' data. Logs show that by 2012, there were over 77,000 active selectors being tracked in the system at any given time. Internal memos reveal that the agency bypassed traditional warrants by using the FISA court to issue directives to tech companies. The program enabled real-time notification when a target logged into an account or sent a message. Records prove the CIA used PRISM data to map out the social networks of foreign diplomats. The office managed a specialized unit called the Special Source Operations to oversee the corporate partnerships. Reports confirm the agency used voice over IP, VoIP collection, to listen to conversations on Skype long before the encryption was compromised. The agency received metadata dumps that showed not just what was said, but the physical location of the device at the time of the message. Documentation reveals the use of backdoor portals provided by tech companies to facilitate high-speed data extraction. Internal logs confirm the agency categorized users based on 51% confidence rating that the target was a non-US person. The CIA utilized PRISM search histories to identify potential recruits for clandestine operations. Records show the office coordinated with GCHQ in the UK to share the upstream collection data. The agency provided technical assistance payments to tech companies to cover the cost of their compliance. Reports confirm the development of automated translation software to process the millions of foreign language messages collected daily. Documentation shows the agency used data mining algorithms to predict future civil unrest in foreign nations. Internal memos confirm that PRISM was considered the primary source for the president's daily brief for several years. The agency utilized pattern of life analysis to determine the daily routines of targets based on their digital footprint. Records confirm the CIA utilized PRISM to track the movement of foreign economic intelligence through private cloud storage. Documentation shows the agency utilized facial recognition scans on photos collected from social media servers. Logs prove the CIA established shadow servers to mirror the data pulled from corporate partners for long-term storage. Records confirm the office utilized browser history audits to determine the political leanings of foreign journalists. Documentation reveals the agency tracked app usage data to see which encrypted messaging tools were becoming popular in specific regions. Internal files show the agency monitored gaming chat rooms on consoles to identify covert communication channels. Records prove the agency used the upstream program to tap fiber optic cables directly, supplementing the server access. The CIA analyzed draft folders of email accounts where targets would write messages but not send them to avoid detection. Documentation reveals the agency used cookie tracking to follow targets across different websites even when they weren't logged in. Internal ledgers show the agency paid over $10 million to a specific provider for compliance and storage engineering. Reports show that Dropbox was the last major provider added to the leaked list of partners. Records confirm the CIA used the Nucleon database to store intercepted voice content gathered via PRISM. Documentation proves that the agency tracked digital heartbeats, the frequency of pings from a device to a server, to identify when a target traveled. Logs indicate the agency used buddy list from instant messaging apps to map entire insurgent organizational charts. The agency processed over 1.6% of all global traffic through its various collection filters daily. Records show the CIA utilized query logs to see what targets were researching before they took political action. Documentation proves the agency tracked purchase histories on e-commerce sites to monitor the flow of specialized equipment. Internal memos reveal the agency used typography analysis to identify unique typing patterns and verify the identity of account users. Reports confirm the agency utilized auto-sync data from mobile phones to download contact lists without the user's knowledge. Records show the CIA analyzed meta tags and uploaded photos to determine the exact model and serial number of the camera used. Documentation proves the agency tracked time zone offsets and emails to confirm a target's true physical location. Internal logs confirm the agency utilized system logs from tech providers to see when a target attempted to use a VPN or Tor. Reports indicate the agency monitored cloud clipboard data to intercept passwords being copied and pasted. Records show the CIA analyzed calendar invites to predict the physical meeting locations of foreign interest groups. Documentation reveals the agency tracked deleted file metadata to see what information a target considered incriminating. Internal memos confirm the agency utilized software update logs to identify the specific operating system version and vulnerabilities of a target's machine. Logs show the agency monitored app permission requests to see which functions of a phone a target had enabled. Records prove the CIA utilized battery usage profiles as a unique biometric fingerprint for specific mobile devices. Documentation shows the agency tracked Wi-Fi SSID histories to map every location a target had visited with their laptop. Internal files show the agency utilized ADID tracking to link various anonymous accounts to a single physical person. The agency mapped app ecosystem ties to see which secondary apps were connected to a target's Google or Facebook login. Records show the CIA tracked voice assistant logs to intercept accidental recordings triggered by wake words in foreign homes. Documentation confirms the agency utilized EXIF data to extract GPS coordinates from background landmarks and target selfies. Reports show the CIA monitored relationship status changes to predict when a foreign operative might be vulnerable to recruitment. Internal ledgers confirm the agency subsidized the development of certain encryption light standards to ensure PRISM visibility. The office utilized language fluidity audits to detect if a target was using code switching to hide intent. Records confirm the CIA tracked in-app purchases to link virtual identities to real-world credit cards in over 150 countries. Documentation proves the agency monitored digital graveyards, the data of deceased targets, to find inherited keys or contacts. The most impenetrable sections of the declassified PRISM materials are found in Annex M, Domestic Filter Parameters. Over 600 pages are entirely blacked out. The official reason is Exemption B3, Statutory Protection of Intelligence Sources and Methods. Then there's the algorithmic profit ink theory. Some digital forensic experts believe these 600 pages detail the use of predictive arrest modeling. This isn't a proven fact, but the speculation is that PRISM wasn't just watching what you did, it was using AI to predict what you would do. The theory suggests the redactions hide the pre-crime thresholds that would allow the agency to flag individuals for detention based on mathematical probability of future dissent, even if no crime had been committed. Then there's the silicon hostage whisper theory. It's a persistent rumor which suggests the blacked out pages detail corporate compromat. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know the word. KOMPROMAT. Corporate compromat. This speculation claims the agency didn't just pay tech companies, they blackmailed them. The theory is that the redacted pages contain proof of vulnerabilities the NSA found in company software that were held over the heads of CEOs to force their cooperation. The redactions hide the extortion log used to keep the Valley in line, effectively making the tech giant's survival dependent on their betrayal of their own corporate rules. Then there is the neural mapping whisper. Among the tech fringe, there is a belief that the redactions hide a project to map the human connectome. This theory suggests the agency used the massive influx of personal data to create digital twins of every person on Earth. These shadow simulations are allegedly used to test how populations will react to specific stimuli, such as food shortage or staged news events. The black ink hides the simulation fidelity scores for our own digital ghost. Then there's the genetic data harvest theory. It's a darker one, and suggests the redactions hide a link between PRISM and biometric databases. The speculation claims the agency used private genealogy and health tracking apps to link digital identities to physical DNA. Allegedly, according to their adherents, the redacted pages detail a genetic trace protocol that allows the state to track a person's movements even if they throw away their phone, using only their environmental DNA and the PRISM mirror of their family's digital activity to maintain a permanent fix. Then there is the smart city overwrite theory, one of the most chilling whispers, and it involves infrastructure synchronicity. Speculators suggest the blacked out pages detail a plan to link PRISM data to smart city traffic lights and building access panels. The theory is that the agency can digitally lock a target into a specific city block by manipulating the physical environment based on the target's real-time GPS data. The redactions allegedly hide the Urban Containment API, designed to turn a city into a physical prison for any individual the AI flags. Was PRISM a success? Tactically, it was an unprecedented success. It provided the U.S. intelligence community with a God view of global communications that was previously impossible. It allowed for the rapid identification of terror cells and foreign intelligence assets. Strategically, it was a diplomatic catastrophe. When the program was leaked in 2013, it shattered the trust between the US and its allies and fueled a global movement towards data sovereignty and end-to-end encryption. The program successfully proved that the cloud is merely someone else's computer, and that computer is always accessible to the state. It established the total information awareness model that remains the holy grail of modern surveillance. Ultimately, it was a success because it allowed for the automated mapping of human society. The policy effectively turned the internet from a tool of liberation into a tool of observation. The success is further evident in how the agency successfully integrated corporate data into the daily machinery of national security, creating a public-private surveillance complex that is nearly impossible to dismantle. It demonstrated that in the digital age, the most effective way to monitor a population is to provide them with a service they can't live without and then watch how they use it. The program was a success because its function took place in total secrecy for years, collecting billions of records before a single whistleblower spoke up. It proved that big data is the ultimate weapon of the 21st century. Furthermore, the sheer volume of actionable intelligence derived from these server feeds solidified the program as the crown jewel of the signals intelligence community. Proving that direct access is vastly superior to external interception, it succeeded in making surveillance a passive background process of modern life. As far as operational and technological breakthroughs go, PRISM resulted in breakthroughs that define the digital panopticon we live in today, such as large-scale metadata synthesis, the ability to cross-reference billions of data points to find a single person. Today, this is the basis for big data analytics, used in everything from targeted political campaigning to credit scoring. Real-time packet inspection, the technology to scan the content of data packets as they move through a server. This is used today in deep packet inspection, DPI, by governments to censor internet content in real time. Passive asset recruitment, the operational shift toward forcing private companies to act as state agents. This is now standard practice in mandatory data retention laws across the globe. And automated sentiment tracking, using search queries and social posts to gauge the mood of a nation. Today, this is used in algorithmic trading to predict market movements based on social media panic. PRISM reminds us that in the digital world, there is no such thing as a deleted thought. The policy proved that the convenience of the cloud comes at the cost of the sanctity of the self. We are still living in the world built by the glass eye, where every click is a confession and every search is a signature. Every time you accept terms and conditions without reading them, you are interacting with the operational ghost of the PRISM legacy. The program effectively turned the world's smartphones into the most sophisticated tracking devices ever invented. We are the architects of our own observation, and the data we generate is the cage we build around ourselves. In the mirror of our digital lives, the agency found a way to watch us without ever looking us in the eye. The glass is always watching, and the servers never sleep. We have traded our anonymity for the convenience of connectivity. Thanks for listening. Watch what you click, and remember, the internet never forgets, and neither does the agency. Join us next time as we examine MK Round. In the quiet labs of the 1960s, the agency didn't just want your data, they wanted your logic. We'll uncover the facts behind MK Round, the systematic research into circular reasoning and cognitive dissonance. It was a war of loops and labyrinths. Join us next time for The Infinite Loop. In the meantime, I'll see you in the archives.